So this week, Andrew and Tristan Tate have recently arrived in the United States from Romania. And keep in mind that this is while charges for trafficking and rape are still pending. And guys, I want to start off by saying I try to refrain from talking about Andrew Tate as much as possible on here because for the longest time I had mixed feelings. Because on one hand, some of his messaging was good in the sense that he was telling men to embrace their masculinity as well as being protectors of women. But on the other hand, his indicators of success were based on some of the most materialistic things, which I didn't exactly love, but I figured, okay, no one's perfect. Yeah, he says some outlandish stuff sometimes, but so does everybody else, and for all we know, he might be trolling. And plus, he rejects all the crazy woke crap, so that kind of aligns with some of the things I believe, so he still might be a net positive. And even when him and Tristan were arrested in Romania on human trafficking charges, I said they deserve their fair day in court, which I still believe. But when you really peel back the layers, there's a lot of hypocrisy with him, because on one hand, he talk about caring about women.
I am a misogynist for saying that I go through so much pain so that we can be financially secure. So I hope the woman I care about does not have to work a job. If that makes me a bad person, then so be it. Because all I'm saying is I want to take care of her in every single realm. I take care of her physical safety. I take care of her financial security. That is my job as a man. And if more men acted like me, you will see that the world would be a happier and better place.
Even reaffirming on X that he's supposedly not misogynistic and believes in protecting and providing for women and that men ought to do that. But then he has convoluted ways of trying to justify men being unfaithful.
A man can only cheat if he loves someone else. If I have a woman who I truly love and I go out and I come back to her and I don't care about her and I only love my girl, that's not cheating. That's exercise. If she even talks to a dude, it's cheating. Because females are emotionally invested. I have no emotional investment. So no, I'm making this very, very clear. Any woman who was with me never even, the only men they spoke to besides me were my brother, and the guys online who were paying them. That is it.
Which is questionable, and then the misogynistic, anti-Semitic stuff came up, and I had the same opinion for Tate that I have for people like Nick Fuentes, which he shouldn't be deplatformed or anything. He has the right to free speech. I just thought that anybody who still simps for him, well, you do you, buddy. I think you're an idiot, but whatever. But then when you peel back the layers even more, you'll see that he's not just a misogynist, he exploits women.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. My MO was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money. So I was a pimp in that sense. Like, I was not trying to have sex with women. I was trying to get women to obey me, and I realized that's easier if they like to have sex with me. If they don't like having sex with me, it's pretty hard to make them listen to me. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. Your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. I have to f*** her so she obeys me. I don't give a shit about having beautiful women. I f*** them so they listen to me. So I can get what I actually want, which is not them. It's a means to an end. That's exactly what I do. When I watch a Bond film and I see him basically pimp a bitch, to me, that speaks to my heart. I've been there. I've done that. Anyone who's followed me long enough knows that I first made my $1 million with a webcam business. I have met beautiful women with a good personality. I have to this. I don't want to. I just need the money.
Talks about being violent towards them.
They didn't teach you in self-defense? Here's a little move. When I grab you by your neck and you start annoying me trying to resist, and I just and then I grab you by your neck again. Then what the are you gonna do when your face is collapsed and your cheekbone's broken? You ain't gonna do shit but cry. I perfected this in pimp school. When I got my PhD, we had to practice if a girl comes at you, you cheater, you're cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and then grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch! Her panties get wet. And you go, her. That's how it goes. Slap, slap, grab, choke, shut up, bitch, sex.
And there's supposed voicemails that he left.
Am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I loved how much you hated it. Turned me on. Why am I like that? Why?
Whilst we were having sex, he put his hand on my throat and strangled me until I lost consciousness. But he was still having sex with me when...
Sometimes you forget exactly how lucky you were to get by me. You didn't like that I was thinking I can do whatever I want to. Are you seriously so offended I strangled you a little bit? You didn't pass out.
But he kind of kept saying, I own you, you belong to me, like threatening to kill me.
Chill the out. Jesus Christ, I thought you were cool.
which he still has his trial to prove whether or not he's innocent, but the point is he has evidence against him. And yet he has the audacity to claim victim.
There's a lot of opinions about us, a lot of things that go around about us. We've yet to be convicted of any crime in our lives ever. We have no criminal record anywhere on the planet ever. Our case was dismissed on the 19th of December in Romania under the Biden administration. And our prosecutor recently decided, because we have no active indictment in court, to let us go and return. This is a democratic society. It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, as my brother and I are. I think it's extremely important that we stop allowing media spin, wrap-up smears, lies, carefully constructed narratives from George Soros-funded operations trying to destroy the reputations of good people who have no intention to do anything other than follow the law.
Which, first of all, the Romanian court said that the case is not in fact closed and that they are expected to return to the country. And he is right about everyone being innocent until proven guilty, so I'll reiterate that he deserves his fair trial. But the last statement about his intention to obey the law is kind of rich coming from him, considering other things he said about why he lives in Romania.
People say, why do you live in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're a rapist. I say, no, I'm not a rapist. But I like the idea of being able to just say, to do what I want. I like being free.
And also, I like Eastern Europe as a whole because corruption is far more accessible. I find it offensive that a police officer in England will stop me for speeding and then refuse to take a bribe. Every single system, all of them are corrupt. The judicial system's corrupt, the medical system is corrupt, the financial system's corrupt. It's all corrupt. It's all a matter of who you are. Now, in America, the game is limited to ultra billionaires who control the government, as you said. In other countries, anyone with money and some basic social skills and some nice friends can play the game. If we're going to accept that every single system on the planet is corrupt, why would you live in a place where you cannot access the corruption? Does that make sense logically? Or would you rather live in a system where you can say, you know what, I'm important enough within said society that if the police stop me, I can give them $10 and off.
I probably shouldn't say this on the internet, but I'm going to. Romania is completely corrupt from head to toe, right? I have a very, very extensive network in Romania. I like to make this very clear. I'm at the very top echelon of society.
So you like corruption when it benefits you, but when there's supposed corruption smearing your good reputation, then you complain about it. Got it. You really got the moral high ground there, buddy. And I think what bugs me is that simply because he's a Trump supporter, these conservatives feel the need to cozy up with him, like Candace Owens.
Everyone condemned me. How could you defend them? I'm just reading the facts and they're not going to be convicted. Well, guess what? That happened, okay? The case ended up being thrown out in Romania. They said there's no evidence here. It's exactly what I was saying. There's not enough evidence here to bring charges against them.
So again, the case is ongoing, Candace. As smart as you are, it baffles me that you could just state that falsehood.
And they were just brought back to America. They are now on American soil. They landed this morning. And for some reason, people are angry about that because they don't like who Andrew and Tristan Tate are. They do not like their online personas. They don't like the way that they speak to women. And so they're happy to have these men be wrongfully convicted for something that they didn't do. I cannot understand this logic. I cannot understand why you think you need to like someone or agree with their lifestyles in order to say that no person should spend a single second in prison for something that they didn't do.
I mean, I agree that nobody should spend any time in prison for something they didn't do, and I don't think people would be happy to see him wrongfully convicted. Not sure where Candace got that idea. But when there is enough evidence to build a case, you arrest them. And people in the US are innocent until proven guilty, but they're often held in prison without bail until their trial because they're a risk. And Andrew Tate obviously has no respect for the law, so maybe Romania decided to be a little harsher on him because of that. I really don't know how Candace can be sophomoric like this sometimes. And don't get me wrong, I was just listening to her over the past few weeks with the whole Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni drama. She was key in the investigation, which she did a good job. I have to give her props where it's due. But it's just crazy how someone who is supposedly a devout Christian like Candace, Miss Christ is King, is so staunchly defending these dudes who represent nothing that Christianity, or Americans for that matter, stand for. And same with conservative influencer Benny Johnson, who interviewed Andrew Tate, in which he was basically just going along with what Andrew was spewing about how the Romanian government was doing a witch hunt on him, which I'm not knocking Benny for having Andrew on, but he wasn't asking any tough questions. He was just fawning over him. And as someone who's a conservative Christian who talks about his love for Christ, you would think you'd be a little more critical of him. And what's more, then he brought Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba, on to talk to him.
Hi.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice to meet you. I'm a fan. You're the one saving Trump. You're doing more important work than me.
America, not just Trump. And I agree with everything you just said. And I think that your anger is the same that President Trump has for our country. But I agree with everything you say. And I have your back out here in the States. And when I saw that you were going to be on, I said to Benny, I have to meet Andrew Tate. There is literally only one person with the same amount of anger and fire, and that's probably me and President Trump. But it's because you love what's right, and you're being under siege, and just keep fighting. I mean, I'm here for it. You know, there is no time anymore for weakness. We are being destroyed, and we need strong, powerful voices like yours. And Yeah, I got your back over here.
Well, I tell you, if I ever get stateside, and I think I will sooner or later, if I ever need a lawyer, I'll be calling your phone. But you know, it's
Okay, first of all, what Tate and Trump went through is not the same, in my opinion. Trump went through a kangaroo court and political persecution. It's not the same as having evidence against somebody who explicitly says that they love to exploit corruption. And then the end part where Alina's like, I got your back, and Andrew saying if he needs a lawyer, she'll be the first person he calls. It gives credence to the idea that the Trump administration was behind Romania relaxing their travel ban for the Tate brothers, allowing them to come back to the United States. Especially with what Andrew had to say.
And I'm very close to the Trump family. I know them well, and I spoke to Barron after the incident, and I look forward to, once I am free, being Donald Trump in person and reminding him that he's a bulletproof badass.
Even though Trump denies it.
President Trump, Andrew and Tristan Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused of human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release them, and if so, why?
I know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
I mean, I don't know what's true, but I'll say that if the administration has pulled any strings to make this happen as a way for Tate to escape accountability in Romania, that's perhaps the deepest betrayal of what the Republican Party should stand for. And thankfully, there were people on X who shared that sentiment. As Abby Libby said on X, I voted for an administration that stopped human trafficking at our borders, to get rapists and pedos off the streets, and that Trump's action in freeing the Tate brothers was a stunning betrayal of his mandate. Or Megan, just to be clear, the admin is going way off the reservation with Tate brothers. In no way, shape, or form did any of us vote for this. And even Florida Governor DeSantis spoke out against this.
Is he welcome here? What the state do? Send back to Romania or whatever?
We have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media. Clearly, the federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have, but the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening.
And again, all of this is assuming that the Trump administration was actively involved. And if he was, then that goes against what I and many other people stand for as Americans. Because if you're on the right and feel the need to defend someone unconditionally because they support the same president, you ought to ask yourself what we as Americans value. And one of those principles should be America first. Defending someone who doesn't respect the rule of law, welcoming them into this country goes directly against that. And if you disagree with everything I just said, I will defend to the death your right to say it, because that is also who we are as Americans. And guys, I want to thank you all for watching this video as always, and if you appreciated my commentary, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, hopefully I've earned a subscription. Here's some more videos for you to watch in the meantime. Until next time, peace out.